This is the daily review for the 13th of April 2022. Uh, I took 4 trades, and the reason for that it was that it's a very tough day for me. It was a very tough day in terms of my system because everything. Uh, there were two things that happened today. There were good news in the airline industry, but then bad news pretty much on everything else. So and SPY was gapping down heavily in pre-market, but we were resting at the S3 level on the daily. So we could either break down further or reverse, and we ended up reversing on SPY. And so the stocks I was watching, the airlines, they were gapped up. They gapped up a lot, so they were just chopping around outside the areas of my entries with the pivot system. So I couldn't trade them, and then I decided to test to see if it was worth taking a short at S3 when you have a wide pivot range. But I learned today that it's much better to just look for another stock and that can play nicer instead of just going against what your system is built upon, which is taking a long an S3 and not a short. So I'm gonna stick to use now. I learned that I need to stick to a strict setup because it doesn't make sense to just throw money out the window for something that's not gonna happen quite often, right? That's my realization today. So I took then I proceeded to take 3 trades on AMD. I'm very proud of them. The first one was very good. Um, I I entered the first trade with a fairly good stop loss. Managed to get 2 3 R, but then stopped me out. It's unfortunate. Then I made another entry here, but this entry was in anticipation, so I kind of lost my emotions a little bit because I expected this trade to run to test BWAP and maybe even longer, but it didn't happen. So kind of messed up with my emotions. I wasn't sure if what I wanted to do with this trade, if I wanted to count it in, because if I add this trade to my to the results today, then it puts me in the negative and at break even instead of like plus 1 R with this plus 1 R and a half with this trade. So it was messing a lot with my emotions, and so I took this trade in expectation, and obviously it stopped me out. But then I was gonna take my break, but because we were topping out and we were struggling and we were not just getting the volume for this trade to continue along. You can see on the live trade, you can see the tape. It didn't have much strength. So I decided I was gonna go take a break, but I decided to just wait for a few seconds, and I saw that it was forming this setup. Just doji after doji after doji, just a lot of pressure both sides. But then it gave out, and I noticed that the moving average was curling down. So that gave me the confidence, objective analysis, and it made my day a little bit over goal. So I'm very proud of this day because it was more difficult than yesterday, I would say, a lot more complicated. It put the system to the test because not a lot of options were available. Everything was gapped up or gapped down. So so I took the chances that were available. I did not pay much attention to my emotions, so that's very good. And yeah, so very good. I'm gonna do the I minimize this chart. I'm gonna do the daily review now. So we ended up with what was it? I didn't leave it here, right? Okay. So today we ended up less than 3 R, just a little bit. So it's 2.6, 2.7, 2.6. We're gonna leave 2.6. The break rules, yes, just one rule, anticipation, but it's okay. And I felt very well physically, emotionally as well, cognitive state as well. I think this could be lower, but Maybe an 8 in real time, but it's not worth changing it. I had a lot of sleep. I did my morning routine. I started a minute late recording because of that. I was doing relaxation exercises, so I did take every single trade I saw. Was every setup B? Not one of them. Not that one. But so far we're doing good. It's Wednesday, so no weekly review yet. So that's it. That's it for my daily review. Um, I think I could do more to. I can do more to avoid taking choppy trades, but it's a working process. I think I'm seeing improvement. Uh, I think I learned today that I need to stay away from stocks that could not play with the system and just change a different stock that is playing within the system and then just wait for it to make the move like AMD. I think that's a better strategy, a better way of thinking and handling the emotions. So that's my goal for tomorrow, to continue doing the same things I've been doing, focusing on the setup, forgetting about the gains that I've been making throughout the week, and just focus on that and focus on the setup then, and then looking for the stocks that fit the system and not forcing a trade on a stock that's just outside the system that my entire playbook is based on. So AMD is dropping, but I'm not there anymore. I could have saved this amount of trade of shares, make an entry here, add, but again, I was just done with the day. And it was a very good day today, so that's it for today. Where is this? No, right